What is going on, YouTube? I am Prepper Princess, the author of Living on Almost Nothing. If you are interested in purchasing my book, I will leave a link in the description box below. I don't know what is going on with the lighting. I'm sorry, it can't really be fixed. It just looks weird. Oh. If y'all want me to look like an Oompa Loompa, we'll leave it there. That's about as close as it can get. All right, folks, so today I wanted to talk to you about one of the elephants in the room of finances, which is somebody that nobody ever likes to talk about. And that is stay-at-home moms or stay-at-home dads and relying completely on your partner for all of the finances. Now, you all know that we live in a world where 50% of marriages end in divorce. Obviously, this is not good. I've never been married, but if I were ever to get married, my vows are my vows. It is forever. So it is what it is. A lot of the things that happen is people will file for irreconcilable differences, or the kids will grow up and then the parents will, of course, grow apart. And it's unfortunate, but those things do happen. Now, one of the things that I think everybody needs to be really, really careful about is if you don't have a prenup, and I always do recommend a prenup, but if you don't have a prenup, I see some pretty scary positions that people get themselves into. That is when one of the people in the partnership decides that they're going to be the one to work, and then the other one is going to stay home. Now, I've seen this with males and females. It's not just one sex or the other. It's always and it's not equal, like the same amount of men and women, but it is what it is. Is that one will work, and then after 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, whatever it is, one of the sibling that is working typically starts looking at the person staying home, the parent staying home. They look at them like they just see me as an ATM. And then the person who is staying at home, who is living off of the person who is doing the breadwinning, is like, I'm just a maid to you. That's all I am, is a maid and a nanny and a teacher, whatever is involved, if you homeschool your kids, whatnot. And then it always turns into these arguments, and that's not really the issue at hand. The issue at hand is protection of your own personal finances, no matter which side you are on. So if you are, and I'm just going to say stay-at-home mom, if you're a stay-at-home dad, same thing. But if you're a stay-at-home mom and you have nothing saved for retirement, and typically stay-at-home moms start out pretty young, so they have little to no skills in the job market that can be transferred into the job market. The kids grow up, they're 18, 19, 20, and they've moved out on their own. And I've actually seen mothers who go through the divorce. The husband gets everything because he's been the breadwinner in the family the entire time. So the mother has to walk away with absolutely nothing. No job skills, their children are all grown up, no husband, not the best position to be in. They have no retirement savings, and now they're 50 years old. So that's pretty scary, relying on your significant other for all of the finances, and nothing was ever put away. Half of the United States lives paycheck to paycheck. 80% of people live paycheck to paycheck. Half of people in the United States don't have $500 emergency fund. So what happens? Or if the significant other dies, that's just as bad. So here's what I would personally recommend. For starters, have a prenup. You should always have a prenup. And it's not exactly the most romantic thing to push upon a partner, but you have a 50-50 shot of keeping that partner for the rest of your life. So just do it. Just do it anyway. Another couple of things that I would recommend is the stay-at-home mom or dad, whatever, stay-at-home mom, to do something part-time. So once your husband comes home from work and he is with the kids, it's time for you to go out to work for maybe a few hours. You can do Uber or DoorDash, maybe deliver pizzas on Friday and Saturday nights, something that's not going to take a lot of time away from your family, but it's going to get you a lot of bang for your buck. You know what I mean? Another option that you have is, right now, interest rates, just a high interest savings account, right, is Now, people are going to say, that's impossible. I promise you it's not. But a high interest earning savings account, around 4.5%. I mean, right now, I think my Capital One is at about 4.4% or something like that. Now, here's where it gets really tough. Before you get married, before you get married, you guys are going to look at me like I'm crazy, and this is where I'm going to start losing people. I'm going to watch it, the 525 mark. Save $50,000. You guys are like, that's insane. Okay, now look, I get it. $50,000 sounds like an insurmountable amount. But if you work 2 jobs before you're married, before you have the kids, if you work 2 jobs for 1 year, just 1 year, that's all it takes, 1 year, 2 jobs, 1 year, you can save $50,000. You can put that in a savings account, okay? And if you are earning 0.44%, you're making $2,200 a year or $183.33 per month off of that. You can then take that $183.33 and put it into a Roth IRA. And if you start that at a young age, around age 20, 22, you will have enough to retire. That will be more than enough to retire as long as you don't touch it when you get divorced. You can touch the $50,000 because that's your emergency savings. Just don't touch the Roth IRA or the 401k or the investment accounts. Don't touch the retirement stuff. You can use the $50,000 to put a down payment on a small condo or a small house, or you can use it to rent until you're able to get a job. That is your emergency fund. That is your divorce emergency fund. Okay, and it sounds like a lot. But $183 a month to put into a retirement account is something you can do. There is also something that you can put in some sort of agreement that you have with your husband. You can do it in writing and get a notary and all of that stuff, is open a spousal IRA. So if your husband is the one doing all of the work and he's doing what people do, you're contributing to your 401k, your Roth IRA, you can also require that they put the same amount in their spousal IRA as they do their regular IRA. And, that is with the same types of taxes that all of the other stuff would come with. But that would save you the $183 a month unless you want to further invest. But if they put all that money into a Roth IRA, a spousal Roth IRA, that can also pay for your retirement. And you can keep the $50,000 as your emergency divorce fund, and then you can just spend the $183.33 every month as you see fit on getting your nails done, your hair done. It's your fun money. It's your fun money. The great thing about having money is that it can grow into enough to be fun money. But you guys, seriously, okay, there's something else that comes with this, is that some of the things that I'm seeing from people that I know of who have gone through this is that these women obviously and understandably are terrified. Okay. And you get the stuff from the men who are like, my wife took everything in the divorce. Okay. Got it. I understand, but that's not what we're talking about. Women who have no skills that they can bring to the marketplace and have been housewives for the last 30 years, and their husbands decide to leave them for somebody else. It happens all the time. It's not like an uncommon occurrence. And what these women do is they have no money, they have nowhere to go, they become totally fearful. So they then rely on their young 20-something children to take care of them. Now, there are certain cultures that this is okay. My personal belief is that parents are intended to teach their children responsibility, not reliability. So a parent should be doing everything that they can to teach their child the basics of finances. And that's why, a good person leaves an inheritance to their children's children. So they not only leave their children money, but they leave their children with the financial understanding, capability, and education that they will take that money and grow it and then pass it on to the next generation. That is how generational wealth builds. It's not just giving an irresponsible child money. It's also giving them the understanding and the education of how money works so that they can then push it on to the next generation and so on down the line. So if you are divorced and scared and you're like, I have nowhere to go, I got to move in with my kids who's in their 20s, you're actually taking away from their best earning years and their best years to be able to invest in their Roth IRAs and their 401ks that is going to just go into a giant torpedo of earned interest. And you're taking that money away from them by relying on them financially, which is very sad. I also see this with people who rely on their children to take care of them when they're in their elder years. And typically when that happens, the person is in their 40s to 50s, which is their largest income earning years. And they're having that taken away from them. And this is what leads to generational poverty. So big difference. All right, folks, I know that this is like the elephant in the room video, and I wanted to kind of like keep it short and sweet as much as I could, but you should not be relying fully on your partner financially if you're not able to contribute financially at all to the relationship. You've got to have your own money, and you've got to have a prenup. Do what you can with what you've got. Prepper Princess out. Get him, Nala. Get her, Rocky. Get her, Rocky. Oh, cheater. Cheater. You cheat. I am not the Ollie Ollie oxen free. You guys are so stinking cute.